This is TWiT.
Before iPhones, when communication was done, when online communication was done, mostly to email, like I never would use emoticons. Like I did not like the smiley face in email because I felt like your words should speak for themselves. Like, and if you had a smiley face, that's confusing to me. Like but now I feel totally differently. And I think that's mostly because it's so much personal communication, which is different than work communication. How do you feel about emoji use in the workplace?
I'm all on board, obviously. I'm in a fortunate position. I didn't have a real job, but
Chief Emoji Officer.
Right. I have a job where I don't have a boss. I'm the boss. And I'm aware that's a luxurious position. You know, the fun thing that bosses do. What do they say? The more powerful you are, the less words you use in emails. So you get people who are like, the boss, and you'll write this long email proposing everything, and they'll write, okay.
Yeah.
And then the further down the chain you are, the more you need to say, well, there's this and there's this option.
Right.
I think emojis become, our work and personal life is sort of blurred in recent years. True. There's no longer the whole, this is the office, this isn't. Often, even if you try and keep a different personal life, you know, that's a noble goal, but just in reality, you're going to work with people. Sometimes they're going to say to you, hey, do you mind if I just message you this instead? It'll be quicker for this other thing. And then you're sort of in a personal space. So you send an emoji there. Then via email, you're like, why wouldn't I send an emoji here too? And there have been some studies done showing that people take you less seriously if you're using emojis in emails, which might be the case if you don't know someone. I view it as being friendly. You know, maybe I do think of someone as being less. I'm not intimidated by them if they put a smiley, but I like that. I think that's welcome. I don't like someone that's too aggressive via email. If someone does send me a thumbs up at the end or something, I'm like, that's good. I know they're happy. I'm not left wondering, were they upset? Were they annoyed? So I think it's good.
Right, because I mean, email can be, I guess that's sort of the difference now. It's like email can be a little aggressive sometimes. It's the way that you interpret it. I mean, there's so much interpretation there when you're not speaking face-to-face to someone. So I guess really, like adding an emoji at the end does sort of take away the like.
The purist might argue if your words are good enough, you don't need it. But I just think, what's the harm? What's the harm in being over-emphasizing that we are good? Yeah. Because sometimes you just can't tell. When someone says in an email, you know, as I mentioned previously, which is normally, you didn't read my email.
Yes.
But maybe they didn't mean to phrase it that way. And honestly, the presence of any emoji, really, you're not using emojis if you're mad via email, generally.
Right.
I think just that sort of thing, you could make the case you shouldn't need to do it or whatever, but I'd make the case, why not? We live in different time zones sometimes. You send an email, 10 hours passes. Why not be 100% clear?
Right.